Let's talk quarterbacks, though, because we got late-breaking news on these guys.
Oh, really? Okay, so Derek Carr has been in the news here. I guess New Orleans was out. So is he signing somewhere? What's happening?
He has yet to sign. He spent 2 days with New Orleans. They could not come to an agreement on a contract at this point. New Orleans has enormous salary cap problems. They're like $68 million over the cap. They've started to renegotiate, restructure down contracts. They still got a long way to go to get to the cap number. He did visit for a day and a half last weekend with the New York Jets, has not yet decided there. The Jets reportedly have talked to the Raiders of what the compensation would be, but there is no compensation now because he's a free agent. The Raiders just outright released him because they couldn't get a deal done with anybody. So he has now visited the New York Jets. There may be a visit. It's not been confirmed yet to the Carolina Panthers and their new coach, Frank Reich. They want a veteran quarterback to help fix that situation. I do believe he'll be the first one to come off the board. And then there's the guy in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers has spent 4 days in isolation. He went to a retreatment community in the backwoods of Oregon, and he spent 3 to 4 days contemplating, meditating his situation. He has not yet announced, am I going to play? Am I going to retire? Do I want to be traded? Reports out of Green Bay from one of the longtime NFL insiders, a guy by the name of Bob McGinn, used to write for, covered the Packers forever, and is now an independent freelancer, is that the Packers front office and coaching staff is disgusted with Aaron Rodgers. They're tired of the soap opera. On top of that, they think that he is not committed all in to be their quarterback. And by committing all in, that means you are going to be there when the OTAs begin. You're not going to be on holiday, on vacation. You're not going to be holding out. You're going to be there so that when you get to camp and regular camp opens in July, you're in sync on the same page with everybody, receivers, coaching staff, etc., and you're in shape. Evidently, the rap is, he did not take part in OTAs. He said, let Jordan Love take the snaps so he can develop, etc. I don't know if I want to play, blah, 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 blah. And by the time I got to camp, there was no rhythm to what they were doing. And there's questions that, was he really in shape? They don't think he was. So Bob McGinn wrote that they are really disgusted with Aaron Rodgers. And they're going to commit to move on to Jordan Love. They think Love is ready to play. I just think they're tired of the soap opera.
Can they, does the contract, does the team have an option on the deal, or the team has to pay him if he chooses to come?
He's got 2 years left. His cap figure, if he plays this year, is $52 million.
Holy mow.
Yeah,
wow. Again,
that's because of all the restructuring and renegotiating, and I want my money, and that's why Devontae Adams wound up getting traded, because they couldn't afford to keep them all, because they were allowing Rodgers to have the type of contract he felt he deserved. And then last year, it kind of fell apart. So it's kind of a messy situation. But according to the longtime Packer beat writer, they're disgusted with this guy and they're tired of the act. Now, can the New York Jets, if it's not Derek Carr, can the New York Jets take on that kind of cap figure? And will Green Bay take the salary cap hit by trading him? That's a big issue, too. So that part of the soap opera is not resolved. I guess we'll stay tuned to next Monday's show to see where they send his mail.
Yeah, he's just such a
diva,
a prima donna.
And I like him as a player.
Oh, God, yeah, of course. But just as he's gotten older, he's become more of a, eccentric guy, So, I don't know, maybe the Packers just need to turn the page. They had Jordan Love, and I know when they drafted Love, it really irked Rodgers. But maybe it's time, to transition to the next guy.
Rodgers is doing the exact same thing that Brett Favre did. Brett Favre went off the deep end when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. And now Aaron Rodgers goes off the deep end when they draft Jordan Love. It just, some soap opera. Do you love me? Do you love me not? Hey, before we